Pull up, 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 pull up.
Welcome to the first ever Pull-Up Late Night Show. We're broadcasting live from RTTV studios in downtown LA to launch a program near and dear to my heart, my first child, a creative community, an incubator dedicated to celebrating and amplifying creators of color. I introduce to you Pull-Up, powered by Patreon. My name's Haywan. I'll be one of your hosts tonight. I lead creator initiatives for the Creator Success team at Patreon. But for the majority of my career, I was a music creator, and I got to collaborate with hundreds of creatives and learn so much about what creators are up against, and carried these insights into my role on Creator Success and this new program called Pull Up. Not so bad for a musician turned tech. And with me today is my co-host. She's a multi-hyphenate creator like most of our guests today, an ex-tech exec, Pull-Up advisor, creator growth consultant, sneaker maker, writer, and much more. Please give it up for Nicole Reyes.
Thanks, Haywan. Hi, friends. For the last year, I've had the pleasure of working with the talented Haywan and this Patreon team to launch this thing, Pull Up. It's been an incredible journey. You know, for years, I spent time in finance and venture, learning kind of how to figure out that world and what what the numbers mean. And then I moved into tech and kind of learned how to build businesses. And so for me, as a kind of mixed kid of immigrant Filipino parents, I spent a lot of time walking between worlds. And so it became a lot about building bridges and sharing the keys. And for me, Pull Up is just another major key, and that's what Patreon's building here. So enough about me. We know that you guys are tuning in from all over. We're based in LA, but we want you guys in the chat. Jump in, tell us what's going on, ask questions, give us your reactions, join the convo. The Patreon team is standing by. Shout out to them. They'll be with you in there, dropping links and sharing your questions with us. Just some ground rules. The chat is a safe space. Please keep it that way. If you're in there now, drop a name and tell us what city you're coming from and show us some love. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got.
What we got?
All right, we got DC and Baltimore. We got Brooklyn, Fort Worth, Texas, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, okay, Quebec, Jamaica, the Netherlands,
Okay.
Australia. So this is really international. Look at that. Charlotte's coming in.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay, first of all, let's talk about Patreon. So Patreon is a membership platform that powers creators to do what they love and get paid by the people who love what they do. We offer fans exclusive access to the worlds of our favorite creators, rich with unique content, experiences, and community.
So let's tap into the chat one more time. Let us know if you're on Patreon, if you're a creator or you're a patron, and who you love on Patreon. What we got? We'll give them a second. Intense. Okay, we'll come back, but for now, Haywan, what is Pull Up exactly?
Great question, Nicole. I've been dying for you to ask. So in December last year, a new study published an unfortunate but unsurprising finding. While the creator economy is growing at a rapid pace, creators of color are paid almost 1/3 less than their white peers.
Boo.
Pull Up is Patreon's answer to that. Pull Up is Patreon's invitation and declaration to creators of color. It is a generative ecosystem. Shout out to John Jackson for those beautiful words, our incredible thought partner throughout this entire process.
Hey, John.
Hey, John.
So what exactly does generative ecosystem mean, Haywan?
Great question, Nicole. It means creators of color get to learn from and grow with each other, industry leaders, and pull each other up. We have some incredible creators we're building this experience with, including Hooray, Issa Rae's media company, gifted vocalists like Duran Bernard, Jade Nova, brilliant thinkers like Blair Imani and Nicole Cardozo, and powerhouses like Amanda Seals and her production company, Smart, Funny, and Black.
And of course, last but never least, RTTV, the homies, the content kings, and they've blessed us with this studio space today. So, Haywan, remind me again, who is Pull Up for?
Pull Up is for any creator that identifies as of color, even if you're on Patreon or not. Pull Up offers workshops, community programs, a dedicated Pull Up community, as well as capital, community, and creative partnership for creators selected into our incubator.
Okay, cool. So you can join Pull Up whether you're on Patreon or not as a creator.
That is correct.
So.
At our website, pullup.patreon.com.
So breathing life into this community, these creators, and this launch has been inspiring. This program is truly built differently. Creators of color have forever and ever set trends, built ecosystems, and created new categories that drive culture forward. And as usual, rarely receive the same amount of support. Pull Up is just the beginning. We're just getting started with Pull Up.
And it takes a village. So join the community, y'all. We're dropping the link in the chat. We want to get to know you. Drop into our Pull Up creator community. Introduce yourself. I'll be in there. We'll have creators from the community also dropping in there and engaging. All right, enough from us. I'm hella hyped to have the first guest live in studio performing for us today. He's Inglewood's finest, a two-time Grammy-nominated artist, philanthropist, entrepreneur who gained global notoriety in 2019 as the breakout star of Netflix's Rhythm and Flow. Since then, he's released 2 albums featuring some of the dopest in hip-hop and R&B from Snoop Dogg, Sir, Ty Dolla $ign, John Legend, and Ari Lennox. I'm excited to kick off the show with my friend and once upon a time collaborator, D-Smoke.
Nadie más preparado que el jovencito de Inglewood. Super. Ingles. I told him I'm the one for the job, no commas. And I'm serious, period, no commas. Wanna enjoy my family and my friends with no drama. And stack till I'm delirious, period, no. Ain't a dollar sign tag on some peace of mind, Jack. Hey, we could take a loss, we gon' get it right back, yeah. We could take a loss, we gon' get it right. We could take a loss, we gon' get it right. Listen, I could be your boss, put game in your life. Or you could spin your wheels, that chain off your bike. Yeah, these niggas on their heels, they faint in a fight. I'm here to feed my fam, they want their name in the lights. Dip the paint in my pain and illustrated my plight. Gave it till I had nothing left, so I guess that I'm right. Right until I don't see no wrong, head to Rome on the flight. Then there's Bon Appetit, better not be no bone in my swat. Went from bologna sandwiches, listening to Thelonious. Gifted like homie had a B-day. Replaying grandma kissed him and said, man of God, you was made to withstand the odds. Learn to play your cards, stay true to you and take charge. I'm the one for the job, no commas. And I'm serious, period, no commas. Wanna enjoy my family and my friends with no drama. And stack till I'm delirious, period, no. Ain't a dollar sign tag on some peace of mind, Jack. We could take a loss, we gon' get it right back. Ay, we could take a loss, we gon' get it right. We could take a loss, we gon' get it, listen. Hey, they buying everything in my city line. Property value rising, they gon' gentrify. This ain't rocket science, here let me simplify. Listen, we think we owners, but we only renters. Why? The system ain't broke, it's designed to keep us declining until we reach the bottom line. Can't see the sky, swimming in our misfortune, distorting our vision and eyes glistening. Remember our fallen peers, they listen. Sorry my dear, they eat that venison. With no remorse, resort to militants. They'll shoot up the church, mosque, or that temple shit. And we shoot up ourselves while everybody aiming at a nigga like me. Brown skin, kinky hair, walking in my Nike. Town shit. Inglewood about to belong to Whitey. Unless we buy this shit up and fry this shit up like Snapper and invest in our own society. I'm the one for the job, no commas. And I'm serious, period, no commas. Wanna enjoy my family and my friends with no drama. And stack till I'm delirious, period, no commas, no drama. Word to Tío Obama. Mama dijo, no te preocupes, mijo, you got it. You bout to blow, dejaron hoyo en la tierra, Osama. Keep on giving them cut con las tijeras. Listen, no commas, no drama. Word to Tío Obama. Mama dijo, no te preocupes, mijo, you got it. You bout to blow, dejaron hoyo en la tierra, Osama. Keep on giving them cut con las tijeras. Ay. No commas, no drama. Word to Tío Obama. Mama dijo, no te preocupes, mijo, you got it. You bout to blow, dejaron hoyo en la tierra, Osama. Keep on giving them cut con las tijeras. Your mama gon' pay you back.
Pull up, pull up, pull up.
No commas. No commas.
No drama.
No drama.
I want to enjoy my family and my friends with no drama, you know.
Keep going.
We did that.
Killed it.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. You are amazing. Lyric game, A1.
Thank you.
Killing it. Gonna start off with a question real quick. So that first song, No Commas, a song you once described as being committed to something and seeing it through despite obstacles. And that feels like the perfect setup for this conversation. So much of creative freedom and success is rooted in that hustle, that determination. And you do that well. I've seen you do it. Write, produce, play the piano,
Close quarters.
behind the camera, like doing it all, right? How have you seen that determination and commitment accelerate your career?
I heard somebody say one time, they said, Pharrell, it took Pharrell 10 years to blow up overnight, you know, and you, of course, know my story prior to the blow up. And it was literally overnight. I went from 7,000 followers to 200,000 followers after the first episode of Rhythm and Flow aired. But, of course, that's after 15 years of work, you know. And so, and it was that the best advice anybody ever gave me was keep going. Right. And it's not, and it's a huge difference between somebody telling you don't quit, because they're still saying the word quit in your head, and it's you're still digesting that like that's an option, whereas keep going is an affirmative bit of advice that's so powerful, because you know when things start to align, you know you want to have done all that work during those down times, you know. But yeah, that I believe in the grind, and I'm proud to say I've lived that part of it, you know. So to talk about No Commas and that determination is real. You feel me?
Right, and having that belief in yourself to keep going.
Absolutely.
Right, I love
Absolutely.
that. I love that.
Okay, Dee, so we talk a lot about bridge builders, people who walk between worlds and build between communities, and that's literally you. You're like the multilingual nature of your work. Can you tell us like how the way you grew up has impacted the way that you make your art?
Absolutely. Well, it's so funny because I believe all of our inner cities share a common thread, in that it's like blacks and Latinos in a lot of inner cities share a lot of the same space, and not just blacks and Latinos, but the overwhelming majority of people are people of color in these communities, sharing the same space in the same schools and the same classes. You know, it's like, and so coming up in LA, I went to for a couple years while my parents could afford it, while we had sponsors. We were at a private school that was predominantly Latino, and I would go to my friend's house and their parents couldn't speak English, you know, so they're translating between me and their parents would sweet, treat me like their own kid, but they would always be like, mijo, dile a Daniel que vamos a comer y tiene que lavarse las manos. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, man, I'm gonna learn that one day, I promise, you know. And then when that opportunity came, I learned it, and I didn't know it was going to change my life. It was just one of those things where I just wanted to do it, you know. But that opportunity came, I took it, and it was almost like a bridge built itself for me, you know. And so with it being such a profound life choice for me, I can only like try to introduce that to other people, and in doing so, challenge people's perspectives, challenge ignorance that would say, oh, we should be at odds just because we have, you know, without knowing why, without knowing how, to what degree that kind of stuff is instigated. Sometimes we're at odds, you know, blacks and Latinos. So for the response I get is overwhelmingly positive when it's like from the Latin community. They're like, bro, thank you. Right. You know, we're so used to us having to learn a language. We're not used to somebody coming to our language, jumping into our world and representing it well, you know. So I'm just honored that that's the reception.
Can you talk a little bit more about that? Like, how have you seen it change your fan base, and like what does it look like when you are impacting those communities? Man,
the first time I really knew the power of rapping in Spanish, and I hope this answers the question, we were opening for Kendrick Lamar at Whiskey A Go Go in Hollywood. And, you know, it's a long time ago because it was 2,000 people in there. Of course, now Kendrick's performing in front of 50,000 people and football fields. But we're opening, and the crowd was all his fans pretty much. And there was a part where the band broke. It was dead silent, and I spit a line in Spanish. Si tú me entiendes, te lo digo. Andar en mi zona, eso es no más suicidio. And the crowd went nuts. Like, who is this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? And so that was when things clicked for me. It changed, and I was like, all right, this is a part of my artistry, because I didn't have to leave myself to do it. it was just another language, but it's all me. It's my ideas, my experiences, my thoughts. And it just propelled me into a whole nother stratosphere, you know.
Crazy. So we got a question from the chat that came in, or actually a comment. Your wife's new single is incredible.
Oh, yes.
Shout out. And we got when is your brother dropping another album? Family ties.
Y'all want me
actually,
to, y'all want me to give up all
we can't give that away.
How about this? I've heard it, and it's incredible.
Exactly.
Great answer.
That's all
Family
I'll say.
affair.
I've heard it, and it's incredible.
That's actually a perfect segue for our next question. So family is like the OG community, right? Like that's where it all begins.
Absolutely.
So how did growing up around so many talented musicians, Sir, Davion, Tiffany Goucher, like pull you up? And like how has that been such a part of how it's brought up your community?
Yeah, I mean, it happened one by one. So Davion is first, and he just has a natural gift. He has a voice like a songbird, and coming up under Davion, it was like, okay, I need to play piano. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't sing like Dave. I could sing with Dave, and we could, to this day, complement each other, find harmonies and stuff, and that's what we were taught to do. But, you know, when you're in that close proximity to somebody else who's talented, people start to find their lanes within this bigger world of music. Sir, until he was an adult, he didn't decide to do it for himself. He felt like he was dragged into it because he wanted to make his own wave. And even in music, he's still doing exactly that because that's his personality. So I just think, just like people, everybody finds their way into their lane. And because we grew up so close, I think for us there was a need to establish ourselves as solo artists. You know, everybody's like, y'all should be a big old family group. and I would love nothing more than to do an entire project with my family. But the artist within wants to continue to develop, and being that close to everybody else, when there's so much musical talent there, it doesn't allow us to expand in the ways we've wanted to. And we didn't know. Sometimes it came at the expense of us getting along. Like, sometimes it's like, man, forget you, bro. Like, man, get up out my studio. Well, I got my own studio over here. And then we put our head down and we make a grip of songs like, man, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? And then we come back and press play on each other. And we like, respect. You've been at it. Like, you know?
We needed that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost like having that talent around you allowed you to build with craft and level up.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a healthy amount of competition and support. You know what I'm saying? We would press play on each other and give our honest opinion. It was weeks where, you know, I pressed play on something I worked on real hard, and I was waiting for everybody to be like, dope, at the end, and everybody just busts up laughing at me like, that ain't it, Smoke. And I was like, oh, man, all right, you know. But my next one after that was dope, you know, because they were honest, and so, yeah.
We got one more question from the chat. Crayon from Oakland. What's up, Crayon?
What's up?
Wants to know how your experience as a teacher has impacted your perspective as an artist.
Absolutely. My experience as a teacher made me super aware of the effect music has on students, right? Music is like food, right? You are what you eat, right? And who you are on the inside is what you put into yourself. And as a teacher, I could almost guess what type of music students listen to by how they behaved. And I'm not like saying whether they misbehaved or not, but just how they viewed themselves, how they carried themselves, what they were projecting and stuff, you know. And so I'm extremely intentional about what I put out, which sometimes makes things challenging because it's like, you know, I have my goals just as far as achievement goes as well, but I'm willing to you know, do it the long way if that's what it means to stay myself, you know, and continue to have a consistent message, not necessarily preaching, but overall, like over the course of my career, they could say, okay, he stayed him, you know. And so I need to do that because D-Smoke is an extension of Mr. Ferris. It's not that guy then this guy. You know what I'm saying? I was D-Smoke in the classroom. I didn't turn off who I was, and I think that's what made me a great teacher, you know. And if you let my former students tell it, so I just want to keep doing that, and you know, and all my experience informed it, and they put me up on the new stuff, you know what I'm saying? Pushed my artistry a little further, you know. So
And I love how, so like when you really think about it, like music is a vessel for storytelling,
Absolutely.
for teaching, right? And you write with like substance, like you talk about some real stuff. And there's like definitely like that connection between like using your platform as a teacher to tell and to teach, and then using music to entertain, tell, and teach. So it's like just a beautiful marriage from like past self, today who you are as well.
Absolutely. And when we met and were working, I was well into the classroom and still there and working. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, that context switching, but still kind of doing the same thing, right?
Absolutely.
In different spaces.
Absolutely.
I love that. That was a long time ago.
A long time ago.
We won't say how long ago.
Long time.
long time. I think it's great. Okay, I think a lot of people watching want to know how you became the artist you are today. One thing we talk about at Patreon a lot is the fact that success is not a straight line. Right? There are peaks and valleys, moments when you think you've made it only to learn there's a blocker ahead. What was the moment where you felt like you made it, or you cracked that code?
The moment where I felt like I made it, I still don't feel like I made it, so to speak. Yeah, so that's my real answer to it. I don't feel like I made it, but the moment where I do have proud moments where I'm like, all right, cool, you know, is when I can help people I want to help. When my mom is like, baby, I need X, Y, and Z, and before she finished, I'm like, chances are I can help you with that if it's material, because I still want to be the son I am, that the intangibles, I'm that to her. But like if it's like, hey, I need something tangible, can you? And when the answer is almost always or always, I got you, that's when it's like, okay, cool. Moms don't have to worry. That's the main goal. If moms don't have to worry, and if I could put my nephew in a position to learn what he needs to learn to go past me, then that's the I made it moment. But in terms of looking at my own measurements in my career, you know, we still going. We just getting started, you know. But it's good to be able to be like, oh yeah, I can help with that, you know. So because that wasn't always the case. It would be like, Mom, what you got in the fridge? You know what I'm saying? It's tough out here, you know. So
I love that. Do you feel that bar continues to change as you kind of like step into the new space, like every space? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's one of them things where your idols become your rivals. Snoop Dogg himself told me, like, nigga, if you think you're not competing with me, you got it fucked up. Like, nigga, like you better be coming for everybody. And that's him encouraging you.
Yeah.
Like, have that attitude.
Yeah.
Be out here, like, be here and be your full self. Don't be humble when it comes to going for everything that you, like, taking everything that you possibly have in you and putting it out into the record. All that energy, every bit of Inglewood you got, every bit of love, every bit of anger. If you feel it, use your craft to put it out there so people could see all of you. You know what I'm saying? And not just competitively, but just like with a mean old aggression. I mean, so
really be seen energy.
Absolutely.
Bring the next.
Yeah. So what's like last question? What's next? Any like goals? Obviously, you have goals. Goals in 2022 that you'd like to call out?
2022. I'm proud to say we're going to Europe. This will be my first time touring Europe, and I'll be opening for Alicia Keys for 8 dates, and then I'll also be, yeah, that's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll also be having some D-Smoke dates, you know, in between the opening for Alicia Keys dates, and so I'm excited about that. Excited about releasing new music, doing new visuals, and I'm editing my book. You know what I'm saying? So we'll talk about that in detail.
Dope. We got more time. All right, let's add to the party. Next up, we have a 5th generation Chinese American director making a powerful name for herself. She shot music videos for D-Smoke, myself.
Plenty of them.
Back in the day, plenty of them. Her latest film, Americanized, is an Oscar-qualified short film. She's currently filming her next film, Off Fairfax, premiering at Tribeca. Please join me in welcoming EricaEng.
Yay!
Yay!
Thanks for having me.
How you doing?
Oh, I got the canned claps. Okay, filling up the room. All right.
We got audience.
Okay, Erica.
What's up, Erica?
Okay, clapping again. All right.
Okay, so I know you've known Haywan for a while, and I think you know everybody actually out here. So could you just let us know how you all know each other?
Yeah, I actually forgot that we met through D-Smoke because we met 12 years ago. I started making films when I was a teenager, and I thought like I want to be like a famous music video director. And so when I came to LA after college, I was like, shit, I don't know anybody. And so I hit up my friend who went to UCLA. I was like, hey, do you know any artists in LA? I came down, like I'm trying to find people. And he's like, I know there's like really talented group of brothers. They write their own music, they rap, they sing, they do everything. You should hit them up. So I hit up all brothers. I hit up D-Smoke, I hit up Sarah, I hit up Davion, and I think I hit up Tiffany too. And then D-Smoke was the only one that responded, and so we had coffee, and we just been collaborating ever since then. We did Here We Go Again, like, just on a rooftop in Inglewood. That was like one of the first videos I did in LA. Then I shot for Tiffany, his cousin, and it kind of snowballed from there, but I was just trying to find my own community in LA. I just didn't know anybody.
Right. And I remember when I moved to LA, we connected.
Absolutely.
I played him some music,
Yes.
and I said,
Which
I need a
was
director.
brilliant.
Thank you.
Yes.
And then he introduced me to Erica. And so and we've been friends ever since.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of reaching into your community
Yeah.
to build the community.
I forget that we met in LA because you're a Bay girl and I'm a Bay girl, so it feels like we knew each other from the Bay. Like I can't tell sometimes, but yeah.
Very dope. Cool. Erica, you are one of the hardest working people that I know. I've seen you hustle relentlessly to get to where you are. You are elite at your craft. How has your work accelerated your career?
Oof, my work accelerated my career. In what ways?
Like your ethic, your work ethic, your drive.
You know what? I think that being a creative color too, I think that you have to give yourself a hard time all the time. And I think that's what makes me work so hard. When I was in school studying like film, I was always making my own music videos on the side, or I was like shooting something. So when I came to LA, I had like a little bit of a reel. When I came to LA, I didn't have a job. So I was always working. I had a full-time job, and on the weekends and at nights, I'd be writing treatments. I'd be trying to find artists like yourself and D-Smoke. And I think that has kept me always furthering in my career, no matter what I'm doing, even if it's like a day job or whatever, I will always be shooting something. But it's gotten to the point where now that I actually have grinded enough, I can now say that I direct full-time. I don't need to do anything. Like I don't need to work a side job. I don't need to do any kind of edit. Like I'm just being put out as a director, which is something I couldn't say 13 years ago.
That's dope. Beautiful.
Crazy. So, okay, Erica, I know in a lot of ways Americanized is your story. And as a once upon a time also elite level Asian athlete that wore braids to far too many games, tell us the importance of telling stories that are really like authentic to you, like really telling them and showing them in the world.
You mean like talking about like Americanized, like how I wrote it?
Yeah, just like what was it like being seen? Like what was it like telling your story?
You know, talking about yourself is really tough, also being an Asian person.
Hey,
like we don't like compliments, we don't like to
here
talk
we
about
are.
ourselves. So this is definitely against everything that makes me comfortable. But
And here we are.
But also I wrote it because I wasn't working. Like I went freelance after actually Fighter came out. And we premiered at Atlanta Film Festival. I was like, all right, this is my beginning of my career. This is gonna take me there. And it didn't. And I kind of took a dive and I was like, shit, like I'm trying to get my career off the ground. I'm trying to get work, getting freelance stuff, and no one's really hiring me. I'm like, I'm just gonna make my own film. Because I literally had so much time. But the story that I really wanted to tell was my own. And it was about myself growing up in Oakland, California. I played basketball and I played it like from middle school to high school. But also being fifth generation, I didn't feel like I really understood the Asian kids at my school. Like I wanted to be a part of them so badly, but like we didn't speak the same language sometimes. But also it wasn't just that. It was just like catty Asian shit. I don't know how to describe it, but like people think that all Asians like each other. We just don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's like cliques. It's just high school. And it's same with the team. Like with the team, it wasn't really about race, even though I was the only Asian kid on the team. It was more about can you play? So if you're a bench warmer, then you get shitted on all the time. So like being.
Could you play though?
I'm just saying, like, I was a starter. I was a starter my second year.
Elite.
All right, and I was captain.
Elite.
Okay, but my first year I was definitely
Saying
a
she
bench
could
warmer.
ball. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
You gotta play one-on-one.
All right. Okay. But it kind of stemmed from that of just like feeling like I can't like get in there. And I feel like anybody can really identify with it. It's not really just about me being Chinese American. I think it's just about like any kind of kid not really fitting in. And I really love the responses on the festival circuit. I think like people of any like background can really identify with it. Just like being an awkward kid.
Yeah, love it. What's next? I know you got a lot cooking right now.
Yeah, I mean, I am premiering my next film at Tribeca off Fairfax. It's about 3 guys who try to solve the mystery of a murdered rapper. It's like a mystery.
Smoke.
It's like a comedy.
So stressed.
It's
What
like-
have
it's
I
a
done to
comedy.
you?
It's a comedy. It's a
Not
comedy
called Big
thriller. A comedy thriller mystery. It's a proof of concept for a series that I didn't create. I just directed just the proof of concept. But I'm also part of the Disney's Launchpad Shorts Incubator Program. I'm one of 6 directors that'll be directing a film for Disney Plus. So my mentors are from Lucasfilm and Marvel. So we'll be actually shooting in 2 months. So right now I'm currently in prepping for that, but also just kind of developing my own projects on the side when I have time. But yeah, I mean, by trade, I'm just a commercial director as well.
Amazing.
Love it.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you so
Major
much.
congrats, crushing it.
Yeah.
All right, so for those who might have just joined the live stream, what's up? My name's Haywan. This is Nicole.
Hey.
We are hosting Pull Up Late Night. It's Erica, D Smoke. One, drop into the chat, say what's up. This is Pull Up, powered by Patreon. You want to take any questions from the chat?
I
No?
think we got some who do they love? So RTTV, O'Bannon, Wrestling, Katie Brown, and a lot of belief in fatherhood. Am I saying that right? So some
Dope.
shout outs for creators, but no new questions just yet.
You want to throw it off to the next guest?
For sure. Okay, so it's about to get a little rowdy in here. The next guest literally runs the establishment. We've taken over their studio for today's show. They're 5 childhood best friends that happen to have a pretty big dream that took them from the smallest state to the entertainment capital. Their wild takes and familial banter and hilarious reactions have helped them build a thriving business, and they've recently expanded the franchise into launching a charting podcast. Please welcome RTTV. Oh, he brought the bag.
Oh, I know what's in there. Okay. Y'all bring the cups?
Hey, boo.
I was
What's that?
A lot of handshakes going on.
Yeah.
I really
Too
love
many.
this song every time I hear it. Hey,
What's up, y'all?
what's up? What's up?
You pulled up.
Facts.
Been pulling up.
Gang, gang. Pull up, right? All caps.
Okay, it's too many of you to not introduce yourselves, so go ahead, introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, Patrick RT, man.
What's good? It's your boy DC.
I am the man, the myth, the maniac, Wilkins_RT.
It's your boy Wells, the Anime King.
It's your boy Rob City RT.
And we're RTTV.
Kind of got stuck for a second. I'm like, what do we do next?
You do this all the time. Okay, you ready for a question? It's your studio, you remember? It looks different. All right, so D-Smoke and Erica both talked a lot about the power of building and succeeding in community. So give us the tea. What do you love and hate about working with your brothers? Love and hate.
What I hate is because I see them every day. No, so I'm kidding.
Damn, bro. Damn.
I'm kidding.
It was worse before because we lived together.
I'm gonna say.
I remember.
It was bad.
so
I recall.
we would shoot like 8 hours a day, and then, when I wake up, I still see them. We're still there, I don't know if there's anything really bad.
Bro, you shared a ceiling with him, bro.
Oh yeah, we
that
did.
was bad. That was bad.
We shared a ceiling, and like I'm not gonna lie, like
Tell
I
me
sleep
the
with.
story,
Okay, so I sleep with the TV on, right? And there was one time I'm sleeping, my TV's on blast, and then I just hear a thump, like the loudest thump in the world, right? And the Xbox was on, and like I just see a water bottle on my floor, and I see like water got on the Xbox, and I'm like, oh my god, is the Xbox broken? And the next morning, I'm just like, yo, I think I broke the Xbox because they spilled water on it. And Joel's just like, nah, your TV was mad loud. So I chugged the bottle of water in your room. And I was just like, damn. I'm like, you know what? You got that, bro. You got that. I'm sorry.
But I think the thing that I love about working with 5 of my brothers is that we all bring different ideas. So there's never
like lack of new creativity because we have 5 people, 5 brains, and we've all known each other for so long that we work pretty well together for the most part, and we're able to create really good, great content together.
And like literally, like whatever we're going through, we have somebody right there to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, go through with it like with each other. So like any trial, tribulations and stuff like that, it makes it kind of easier knowing the fact that you got brothers that you know for like 10 plus years now right by your side. So that's one of the best things about it.
Yeah. Can't get enough of each other.
We can get enough. Trust.
All right, so you guys are like real pull-up day one. So have helped define and shape the program at every twist and turn. When it all started, we sat down a while back for a big planning session to figure out how you guys wanted to grow RTTV and like grow your creative freedom, basically. Like, how's it going? What's the review? How's it going?
We're in it right now.
You're like, we got a studio.
Business is booming.
Just being able to create and just be able to take our content to newer heights, and just being able to collaborate with new people. I think that's the biggest thing to pull up is bringing different creatives together and being able to create something dope. And we're creating something live right now as we speak. So actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, we met a lot of great people. Some of the people are actually in this room. I mean, we still have like a sound guy that's in here, our audio, our visual guy, man. So we met a lot of great people, a lot of great relationship. Hey, Juan, Nicole. So we've met a lot of dope people that we still work with now. So shout out to the pull up, man.
And it's dope too because with meeting all those people, like having guests at our podcast, like you get different perspectives on things that you probably wouldn't think about. Like if you didn't meet these people, right? It just opens up the array for you just to learn about different things. So that's been an amazing experience.
Yeah, and it's like going from video creator to podcasting, right? Enabling like the interaction with people, right? So that's like growing your community as you're creating content, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, because we like the dopest thing too is like we have like those live podcasts where we will like talk directly to our audience. Like we have like live chats where our subscribers call us and basically tell us things that they want to tell us this whole time. So I had somebody pull up on me like, yo, Pat, you really be saying some bullshit. Like, and I like that. It's like they have the opportunity to be transparent and like we can actually like have a direct dialogue with our subscribers. So it makes that family like feel even more. Like, you know, so I like that.
And I think that's definitely a main problem with I think all creatives from artists, all realms, they all have that issue with how to maximize your audience. Like, how do I take what I'm doing and bring it somewhere else? And I think that's the main thing that the pull-up definitely helps you in is expanding your audience. Everyone wants to maximize their audience, and I think that the pull-up shows you how to do it in a business way, I could say. So it definitely helped us with that podcast.
We were kind of we were stuck in a position where like, we know that the reactions are doing well, right? The business is still growing, but we wanted to do something else, and we were trying to do a podcast since day one. For everybody that's been watching out there, since like the first year we were doing RTTV, we tried the podcast so many different times and it just didn't work. And the pull up, they kind of linked us up with a video producer, somebody to show us how to do the podcast, somebody to shoot it for us. Because when we shot it ourselves, it was a disaster. You know, like,
me playing the Funk Flex bombs off my computer.
Yeah.
Come on, I was trying.
Or like somebody's mic was off, or like this camera wasn't working. We had, I think, one time we recorded Robbie's face just on an iPad, just because we couldn't get him on the angle of one camera. You remember that?
Remember that. Yeah.
So I want to thank you guys because you guys really put us on, and like if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have the studio. We got this for the purpose of doing the podcast. You guys found us the first location we shot at was that Too Short's location too. So thank you.
Shout out to Too Short.
Shout out to Too Short for real.
Holy moly, guacamole. Oh my.
And so maybe D-Smoke, like they're talking a lot about like when they came to realize they were doing something so well that they had to, their business started growing. And so have you hit that point? I know you're like the goals never stop.
Right.
There's never I made it, but have you felt that business level up?
You know, and I'm going back to your first question. Before Rhythm and Flow, there was a kind of I made it moment, and because I had a space in Inglewood that I could bring other artists to collaborate, and because it's a physical space that reflected like my creative mind, when people walk in there, they automatically took me seriously and wanted to collaborate because the music's been good for a long time when it was out of the bedroom. But to walk into a bedroom and be like, I got big visions. And so that was a for sure moment. Like y'all talk about having a space. It means so much because
it just you can create a culture and create a community within a space. And we started to do that long before Rhythm and Flow. And, you know, even if it was not much bigger than this room, but we would pack it out full of artists and have people all outside looking in the windows like, man, something special is happening. So that was when I knew we were on the right track. The question was, how do we take it out of this 20 by 20 room? You know what I'm saying? Or 20 by 40 maybe, and take it worldwide. And I didn't really know how that was gonna happen, you know. And when Rhythm and Flow came along, I almost turned it down, you know. But my team was like, bro, this is for you.
This is the way.
And they were right, you know. They were right.
It's here.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is the people that were packed in that small room, where are they now? They're like, different people have blown the hell up, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's the whole like building community, growing with each other, investing in each other. I'm assuming a lot of those people you still collaborate with and work with. That's actually one of the most beautiful things about you. Like you stuck around with the people that kind of was like riding with you throughout the process. So hats off to you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump into the as to be expected, the chat is blowing up for RTTV.
Shout out to the RTTV gang.
I know how to do this. And there's a couple questions. So how has your creator journey? What would you like to do and see in the future as far as your creator journey goes? Like, what's next?
I mean, a lot. I mean, one major thing, you know, is like expanding when it comes to our merch line. One of the main things when it comes to like, you know, businesses itself and stuff like that is having that merchandise. So it's like right now we're over here going on like pop-up tour right now and stuff. We just had one pop-up last week. It was great turnaround. So that's one of those things that we are expanding on right now. I actually brought some goodies. I don't know if I can give it to y'all right now or I should wait until after to give y'all some clothes. We brought from y'all.
I mean, I'll take free stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Free stuff.
I'll take it.
And while you're doing that, I have an easy question for you guys from the chat. Who's the best dancer?
Jerry.
Jerry, between Jerry and Evan, for sure.
No, it's just Jerry, guys.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not between
I
Jerry and
know it's
Evan.
crazy, you know it's
It's not between Jerry and Evan.
Which one of y'all is Jerry?
I'm Jerry.
I feel like you referred to yourself as third person just
Because he's the man, the myth,
like,
and
I
legend.
think it's between Jerry and Evan.
It's between Jerry and Jerry.
No, it's between Jerry and Jerry. It's between Jerry, the man, the myth, and the maniac. That's what's
Okay, unanimous. Jerry.
unanimous.
Nah, it's
Unanimous
questionable.
Jerry.
Joel said and me.
Nah,
so
I
you
said
know.
it's between them two. For certain things, you know what I'm saying? For certain things.
I mean, I guess.
I beat you in Pasada, bro. Come
Nah,
on. Shout out to my
yeah,
Cape Verdeans, man.
Yeah, you're Cape Verdean.
Dance
You
off
grew up
after
with that.
this. Dance off after this.
Yeah,
Alright,
facts.
facts.
Okay. I got another one for you. How has anime elevated or impacted the channel and your lives?
I feel like it allowed us like to branch off to different content. In the beginning, we were doing a lot of music. Anime helped us kind of diversify our content. So I think that's how we'll say. Yeah. You guys have anything else?
I mean, it kind of like allows us to expand on things that we grew up on already, too.
That's true.
Because we was already like advocates and connoisseurs of anime without even consciously knowing that it's anime. Because we talk about it all the time that like as children, we was watching Dragon Ball Z and Inuyasha, Rurouni Kenshin, all these dope shows, but then we was just classified as cartoons. And then Joel brought it to our forefront like later on of like, yo, this is anime. Like, let's get into this right here. And that's one of those things that kind of like makes us feel like kids again. Like, and so like he said, it expands on our creativity. Like this next collection that we did, all anime inspired and stuff. So it's like that one that D Smoke has in his hand, that's Attack on Titan inspired right there. So it's like we're bridging like a gap of anime to the world in different ways and mediums. So
And it's also dope to be able to put people on the anime, to be like, listen, and to be able to know the right anime to put somebody onto, because it's not as simple as just saying, hey, just watch Naruto, or hey, just watch Bleach, or watch One Piece. Like one anime that we all recommend to people, the first one is easily Attack on Titan. If you want to get into anime, watch Attack on Titan, because I say this all the time, Attack on Titan is one of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my life. And it's changed my perspective on storytelling within shows, period. Not just anime, but within shows. So
I think the thing that definitely plays a big part in that I witness is that a lot of people don't notice that a lot of black people like anime, like a lot of black creators are into different things like that. And I think the thing that we were able to do is to showcase that people of color like different things other than the common things you think we will like, and we give a different perspective to that as well. So I think what we're doing is just showcasing that we like all different things. We can't pigeon us in a box like, oh, they just like this. And I think when you come to our channel, you're like, oh, wait, they should just like hip hop. They should just like this. We do like hip hop. We do like sports, but we also like anime. We also like K-pop. We also like like all different cultures we touch. And I think that's the good thing about that. Like, it just opens the door to more cultures and showcasing that color creators, black creators could like everything.
Facts.
So to your point, the chat wants to know if you could recommend one anime, what would it be? And then like, what's the worst ever that you've seen?
You can answer the best. I think Rob got the worst one ever.
So yeah, Attack on Titan, definitely.
Okay.
For
Attack on
somebody
Titan.
that's never seen it, a lot of people say like Death Note.
Death Note
like,
too.
They say like for somebody who's never watched it, like that's a good entry like to anime. So Death Note's a fire show.
I'm a Jujutsu Kaisen type of dude.
I'll say the worst anime to watch is an anime called Full Metal Alchemist. I don't even gotta explain it. Just if you hear that name, just run away.
I got a question.
Yep.
And it's kind of a trivial question. I got my own answer, but
Okay.
who is the greatest father in all of anime?
Wow, that was a great question.
The follow-up question is, what color are the black people in Dragon Ball Z?
Green.
Green.
They all come from Namek. Yeah.
The Namekians. Planet Namek is Africa. But sorry for those who don't follow the anime.
That was the first one.
Did we ace the test? Did we ace the test?
You did.
All right, let's go.
Y'all
Namek
winners.
forever.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
Okay.
Wow.
Gonna close it with this.
Okay.
What's your like top goal for 2022?
Meet a lot of different creators on the podcast. I think like in the last like in the time of us doing the podcast, I feel like meeting new people and getting new perspective has been really fire for us. And I think in expanding our podcast, I can't wait to meet different types of creators, different people to come to this beautiful place that we have right here and explain to us what they do, and that's dope. So.
Yep. Roll to 2 million. That's what we going for.
Roll to 2
Yeah. I definitely want to trend #1 on the podcast charts. Not even just on leisure, where we fall under. I want to be like, I want to, at least for like, we're talking this year, have one episode to go head to head with like Joe Rogan or something like that because of some viral moment we had on a podcast.
Yeah.
I know we're capable of a moment like that. So I think that's my goal for this year for sure.
Yeah, I think main goal is to get RDC on the podcast. I think that's an episode that all our channel wants, the whole world wants. If we get that episode, that would be the 2 million. So I think that's the easiest one. Just RDC world on the podcast.
I like Joe Rogan with that one.
That'll be the one.
All right, we'll send this to them after.
Yes, most definitely, most
We got
definitely.
you. We got you.
Definitely would
Awesome.
say
Y'all-
like a big goal for 2022 is just to evolve and grow and like be able to expand our space and be able to do more events like this also too, because this is amazing. This is phenomenal. I came in here and was like, Hercules, this ain't our studio. Goddamn. So yeah, it's more about growing and expanding.
How you came up with Hercules?
I don't know.
Okay,
This is
bringing it
exciting.
back to the whole group. So like, how have you guys seen your audiences change and evolve over the last few years as you've seen different kinds of success? How have you seen it change as you've seen your films kind of like get more widely distributed?
I mean, it's nice to be in just different circles. Like, I haven't been to Tribeca, but I think, like, also, too, I've been honing into the exact genre that I want to be working in, as far as, like, within the dramatic and thriller space. And the next one I have is, like, going to be a horror. So, like, I think I've been also honing in on exactly the tone and perspective I have as an artist. Like, as like anyone continues to make their art, I feel like we all start to understand ourselves a lot more. And I think even when writing my film, it's kind of like I understand my own, like, family's trauma and then put it into these characters. I'm sure that you guys too can relate to putting yourselves into your own art, but as you start to understand yourself as a person. And it doesn't happen when we're younger, because when we're younger, we just make really weird shit that we don't even show anybody. That like we hide all of our old videos. Like I don't even know like who's seen Here We Go Again, but I don't show that to anybody.
Hey, it's not bad. That was like the
Is
start
it?
of my good music video section of my career. Everything before that was like,
I just, like, we don't
That was
see like, you know, like the growing pains of like your music or whatever, but I think like our identities become like a lot stronger through our art as we become better as artists.
So I think we have 2 more questions probably before our next guest comes on. I think a lot of folks want to know how you guys have continued to grow your audiences over time, and how do you continue to authentically connect with them?
Knowing what they want. That's one of the main thing. It's like understanding your audience is the main thing before going forward with any further content that you want. Listening to them, having a dialogue with them. So I could say that like just, knowing them.
And like just being ourselves also too. And like trying to be as diverse as possible with our content, whether it just be like not just anime, but like doing sports or like doing different types of music or different types of shows. So
Sometimes that's easy as just like responding to a few DMs, hopping on in the general chat on Discord and just like talking to a bunch of people at like in a whole group chat with them. I think that's how I get a good understanding of like what our watchers want to see next, or like what they want from us, or like I think that's a useful tool. Discord. Shout out to everybody on Discord right now.
The fam.
Okay, and then we had one more question for you, Erica. So someone asked, I feel like Chinese swag is actually a really underrepresented in art, and I wonder if that has influenced or it has influenced your work, essentially.
I think a lot of Asian creators will say this, that we didn't know that we could make films that people would watch it. I think that I had the idea for Americanized in 2015, and I was like, damn, I don't think anyone would really care. I wrote it in 2019, and I shot in 2020. And I think that the boom of Asian American cinema right now in mainstream is really helping other creators say that we have a place for our art and for ourselves in mainstream. But other than that, no one is paying attention to us. Same with like female artists too. Like no one is really paying attention to like female stories and Asian American stories. But I think now there's a better space for it. It's still growing. And once we show that we can like make capital, we can make profit off of our art, that's when they'll start getting money to fund more of our art. So it's always an uphill battle, but it kind of started with my film as like a calling card so I can make other films later on. So the Disney one that I'm doing right now is a coming of age story about a Korean American young girl and their family, and that's gonna be on Disney Plus next year. So it's kind of like adding more to Asian American cinema.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you're making them pay attention, basically.
Kinda.
It's getting really loud.
Also, like, being an independent filmmaker, no one watches your shit. So, like, you kind of get in the pattern of, like, you don't really pay attention to people watching you. Like, you guys have to pay attention to views. We don't really. We just need the next job. Like, we just need to up in our careers in that way and on our grind. But, I mean, I was making videos with, like, 100 views. But it still got me to the next spot. Like, I don't know how much Fighter got.
It got after like 5,000 views over the course of like 2 years.
Exactly. But it's one of my favorite videos that we've done together.
It was the calling card for years, and now it's up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for years, it was like the video that I'd use to be like, hey guys, I'm an artist and I'm serious about it. Look at the quality of videos.
EricaEng He's acting in
and that's
it.
a good point to not be discouraged by the views. You put a piece of content out into the world and don't stop.
Yeah.
Right? You put content out, you listen, you test, you keep putting out content, you iterate, maybe you do something a little differently, right? And it's crazy because that same bit of content now has how many views, right?
Not for Fighter. I haven't paid attention. I don't pay attention to views because I don't have to. But at the end of the day, like I secretly want people to watch my stuff. But at the same time, I don't expect it to happen because that's not how I get paid.
Right.
I get paid through a job. And so if this piece of work can get me a job, and I don't have to be a PA, you know, that was what my grind was. And so like videos like Fighter or videos that like I kind of accumulated in my career, that's what gets me jobs. So views don't really count for me. Yes. But I think as artists, for filmmakers, I do think that you should make your own art and not care about your audience. Because once you start writing for audiences, you'll never chase their taste. You'll never predict it. So Americanized, I just wrote for myself, and everyone's like, what do you want people to get out of it? I'm like, I don't know. I just want for me. Like, I don't care. I just want people to identify with it. It's not for anybody else, but for myself. But I'm more selfish that way. So you guys have to make.
But it'll ring true for that reason.
Yeah,
you know
because it's supposed to be identified with everybody. Yeah.
It keeps the authenticity too.
Yeah, exactly.
So last question I think from the chat, directed towards I think you, Dee, but I think it's a great question for everyone. Like, how do you find team members to grow and create at a high level?
How do you find what?
Team members. How do you grow a team?
Oh, I think it's Tina.
How do you find Tina?
How do you-
How do you find Tina?
Where is
I was
Tina?
confused. Man, you know what? It's just kind of it's a synergy thing. When you sit across with somebody and just listen to them and feel them out, and you can kind of sense that compatibility. Like my team, one of my team members, I went to UCLA with, and he's known me for 17, 18 years almost, you know, and so we didn't know what we were doing when we decided to be partners, but we knew that I knew I could trust him, and I knew he was going to be honest with me, right or wrong. And then another teammate, you know, I kept running into him, and before I knew exactly what he did, I was like, man, we gonna do something, just because he had that kind of spirit that was like, okay, I could trust, you know, what you're here to do. And it turns out he's like a walking encyclopedia, DJ by trade. Turns out to be a mentor, but one of my core people on my team. And so it's just, man, trust is huge, you know, because things are gonna go up and down. You gotta trust that people are gonna do what's right when they disagree with you. You know what I'm saying? Like they could disagree and support you, or vice versa. They could be honest. They could be honest with you when it's not cool, when you don't want to hear it. You know. So that's kind of the things that I think about when, you know, thinking of teammates. And ultimately, you pick teammates that are good at what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like they got to be good. Like my guys are brilliant, like fucking brilliant, but they're good people. You know.
Dope. I think we're about to bring our next guest on. I've been instructed to answer one very specific question to the camera, which is, what are the shoes I'm wearing? And they are the Melody Asani Fearless High Top collab.
You got that heel. Fire.
LA streetwear designer, woman of color. So we're on brand. We're out here.
Fire.
Those are
and
fire.
from there, back to you, Haywan.
You can check.
She
check.
perfectly positioned her shoes, so you can see it, by the
Do
way.
you want to see the other one?
Oh, you know, we got some sneakers over here, too.
We're doing some things.
I'm not slouches, is what you're telling me.
All right, so we're going to welcome our final guest for tonight. She's a Patreon veteran and pure magic. She's seen enormous success across wellness, social entrepreneurship, and most recently, magic. She brilliantly highlights the history and future of Black culture in magic. Please give it up for the incomparable Nicole Cardozo.
Yeah. What's up?
I'm going to do a little coin trick, but before we start, I'm actually going to ask you to help me for our guests at home.
Okay.
Can you just take a look at these for me? And just make sure that those are 2 coins, those are 2 silver dollars. They're not magnetic, they're not made of chocolate, anything like that.
These are 2 solid coins.
2 solid coins?
Yep.
All right, thank you. So we're gonna start with these 2 coins. Oh, but can you put your hands out again for a second? Can you also just make sure, because somebody's going to ask, I don't have any weird pockets in my hands. Nothing between my fingers. 2 coins.
I don't got my glasses, so I can't tell.
Thank you. So we're gonna start with these 2 coins. Can everybody see that okay?
Yep.
I'm gonna take these 2 coins, I'm gonna place them right into this hand, just like this. Yeah, you're all in my eyes for everybody at home in case they can't see it. So look, these 2 coins are gonna be right here in this hand. My hands will not move, my arms will not cross. I'm gonna try to make one of these coins move from this hand into this hand, restoring balance. From here to here.
How?
I'm gonna do that for y'all again, okay? You wanna see it again?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll study.
You're giving me the look.
He don't believe it.
I can do it with my hands open if you want. Yeah?
I
Let me
didn't
do
think he's
it.
lying to nothing.
Let me do it from the tips of my fingers, and that way all of y'all can see the moment they move from one hand to another. Does that sound good?
Yep.
But it's fast. So you have 2 coins here, nothing here. But it's quick the moment they move from one hand to the other.
How?
So I'm sure that some of you have figured this out, and maybe some of you at home too. I obviously have a 3rd coin, but the secret is where it's hiding. because this third coin is invisible until I decide to make it real.
That's a life lesson.
And I know that sounds really silly, but sometimes we have to believe in things to make them possible. And so that's how we make 2 coins turn into 3, giving us 3 coins. Coin number 1, coin number 2, and coin number 3. Now I know that you were, I know, because I showed you these 3 coins. You held coin number 1 in your hands, and you held coin number 2 in your hands. Coin number 3 goes invisible whenever I want it to. All right. I'm gonna slow this down. I'll slow this down, all right? Y'all ready?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Okay, so this time I'm gonna pull this coin right from here, but I'm gonna make one of these disappear.
Wow.
Giving us just 1 coin. Now watch y'all. With a wave, I'll make it disappear, and a wave, I'll bring it right back, bringing us back to coin number 1. I'm gonna make coin number 2 appear at the tips of my fingers on the count of 3. Ready? You can count with me. Ready?
Okay.
1,
2,
3. Oh, I meant this hand, not this hand. And then we're gonna take coin number 3 right out and make it appear. But before I do, because I see you're watching, I just want to make this real clear for everybody at home. I just have 2 coins, no weird pockets in my hands or anything like that. Are you sure? I'm sure. And it's important to remember that, because sometimes it's not about seeing is believing. We have to believe in something to make it real.
That's right.
Carve our own path, tell our own stories. Imagine that something's right here, right between our fingertips, even if nobody else feels the same, and make it real.
Wow.
Giving us coin number 1.
I ain't gonna ask no
Coin
questions. You
number
did
2,
that.
and
What
coin
type of
number
law of
3.
attraction?
Thank you all so much.
She did that.
I feel like a new person.
Thank you.
I felt like I was watching the law of attraction.
David Blaine never told me no life lessons. I was like,
It's not completely relevant. Yeah.
Can we just say she crushed it?
No, she definitely did.
Crushed.
She's gonna teach me that.
She killed it.
Nailed it.
Beautiful.
Nicole, you are incredible. You are like the ultimate multi-hyphenate creator, right? Can you quickly walk us through your career and like all the things you've touched and grown?
I think my career really started in entrepreneurship. I've been an entrepreneur, I think, my whole life. I started doing yoga and mindfulness in schools, and I grew that into a nonprofit that's turned into a for-profit that supports social and emotional learning for kids and their families. I recently started a media platform called the Anti-Racism Daily. That's something that we launched with, on Patreon in June of 2020. So I've been able to work with y'all for a while. And through all of that time, I've been studying magic. And so I finally have had a chance in my career, to really spend more time practicing and performing and putting on my own solo show that I'm taking on tour right now.
Love it.
So you're in a new season.
Yeah.
It's a new beginning. Sort of sitting squarely at where, in the courage of trying something new, maybe slightly terrifying as well, after an enormous amount of success. What is it like to begin again, and why was it so important for you to do that?
That's such a great question. I think it's like beginning again every time gets easier, because it's easier to get over kind of all of the self-doubt and imposter syndrome. It's like, I've done this once, I can try this again, and I know what to expect in a way. But it is really terrifying, especially something like magic. I don't really meet many magicians outside of my day job, and I have no idea what it looks like to build a career in magic. So I'm really going into it with an open mind. I'm trying to remind myself of what I've achieved in the past. And I think, too, when you're doing something that might seem unique that nobody else has done before, that also means there's no right way to do it. And so you can really carve your own path and define your own story.
Cool. Love it. Has anyone else kind of started something new? Maybe want to talk about that, their experience? Pivoting.
I mean, y'all are making. I've been listening to y'all talking this whole time.
I was so invested.
Honestly, I'm sitting here this whole time like, so what she do with her finger? I'm over here like, I'm really believing it, but it's not there. Like, this is a problem.
Where is the actual sleeve? Like, what is going on?
I have no sleeves.
You did that purposely too, huh?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of the benefits, I think, of traditionally, you see magicians in 3-piece suits, and that's not really how most women dress every day. So yeah, I make it work to my favor.
So does the law of attraction play a role into your magic tricks? Like seriously, because like you kind of
Jerry's about to be at home like, I believe it's gonna be here.
Because I had the magic, and I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
She did make a couple references to it, like as long as you believe it's in your hand, it's in your hand. Like,
Well, I do think that, you know, I do stage magic, obviously, and there's a lot of smoke and mirrors involved, but I do think that magic is real.
okay.
And I think whether we're a magician or otherwise, like when we're bringing new thoughts and ideas and perspectives and conversations to the table, especially in a way that hasn't been done before, it does take that kind of belief. And that has to come from somewhere deeper than the choreography of a staged magic trick. You know what I'm saying? And everybody here is doing that in their own way. Like, we are all truly magicians.
Damn it, make $100 a pair.
Yeah, right?
For what it's worth, the chat is also going crazy with a lot of like, what? How? Mind blown. Amazing. We do have a question from Stefan at Patreon. How do you handle dealing with imposter syndrome?
I'm still figuring that out, honestly, in a lot of ways. I remind myself that a lot of imposter syndrome is designed to keep people to feel like they can't achieve things and not be in the rooms that we deserve to be in inherently. And that's not my business, right? Like, I just have to show up and focus on me and do the best that I can. And I'm just going to forget about what everybody else thinks that I can't achieve. So that's one way that's helped.
That is not your business. You're correct.
Exactly. It's none of my business. It's none of my damn business. But it is my business to also just practice and say, I'm going to do the best that I can with what I've got today, and I'm going to be proud of that. And that's what I'm here for, really, is to like show up for myself, the people that support me, my ancestors. You know, there's very few Black magicians throughout history, and that's what I'm doing this work for.
Cool. Appreciate that. And so I think we just want to make sure to check in. We know that folks are tuning in from all over. And so like maybe let's everyone give the camera an eye, a look, some attention. Turn back towards us. Turn back toward the team, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Love that. Love that for us. Cool. So next question, I guess. I don't think, am I missing questions in the chat? No, okay. So we, especially in Pull Up and a lot of these strategy sessions, we start trying to understand how each creator defines freedom. I think like the uniqueness of that reality combined with their vision for their work is how you kind of make the blueprint. And so I think, you know, one of the questions we love to ask is, what does freedom mean to you? What does creative independence look like to you? That's for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I mean, freedom is choice. It's being able to not have to censor yourself or limit yourself beyond somebody else's expectations. I also think freedom is being in community with other people deeply and being able to connect to them one-on-one. And I think the marker of freedom is, are we allowing other people to feel liberated through our own work too? That's what it means to me.
Beautiful. How about you, Erica? What do you think about when you think of the question, what does freedom mean to you?
Oh, that sounds really shallow, but making money, man. Like, I can now afford everything that I want to, like making money as a director. I couldn't say that when I was an assistant. I couldn't say that when I was unemployed. And so freedom to me means like just getting to choose what I want to do next and choosing the projects I want to work on, not like taking a project because I'm just trying to make money and grind it out. Like, I can now do what I want to do.
Freedom to choose.
Sure.
Cool.
Anyone else?
Yeah, what else you got?
I mean, being creative and following your passion allows you to really be like emancipated in itself and stuff like that. Cause like you get like the liberty to really just exercise all the things that's on your mind. That's why I love like Pull Up, YouTube, and just different like platforms. Cause you can really just let out all these things that you always wanted and stuff, and hence allow yourself to get the time to chill with the people that you always wanted to chill with too. So I was like, you working hard allows you to get the freedom to do whatever with your loved ones and everything.
Yeah, you're just trying to get to that like Rihanna Kendrick time where it's like, I don't have to drop it, but I love it so much that it's gonna come when I want to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when you see people like that who are like really excellent at something, but they can take the time and curate it on their timetable, and it's not like I need to get it out now because I need the money right now, and I can kind of do it on my time, on my passion. So I think that's definitely freedom.
I think it's like being yourself for a living and being unapologetic about it. I think that's freedom. Like sitting here to be able to do what you love to do and be able to show the masses your personality, not just your friends, not just your peers, but millions of people. Like they get to see you for you, not what somebody painted you as, not what somebody's telling you what to do or telling you how to be or telling you how to spell, but be you for you. I just had to say that. I don't know.
I spell this that way, right?
I spell this that way, right?
How you spell pull up, Jay?
How do I spell pull up? P-U-L up.
Well, that's your way. That's your way, goddamn.
You're free. You're free.
Yeah, you're free.
I'm a free man.
Free. Yeah, that's his freedom right there.
That's
I like
freedom.
to make sure my man smell free today.
Feels like you're wasting it on spelling, but it's cool. It's totally fine. It's fine.
And just a thing about y'all, so what's beautiful about what you're building on Patreon is that creative freedom, right? So to have a community, like a rabid fan base supporting your art, watching and building with you, it's like beautiful. It is like the power, it is the machine behind your creative freedom, right? So like one, shout out to y'all for building such an amazing community and platform on Patreon. Like we are, we love you. Y'all are dope.
We love y'all too.
A lot of love over here. Sure.
That was one of the coolest sessions to have your goals on the board, and it was like creator legacy, freedom, like empowering your community, building livelihoods for the people that held you up when you were coming up. That was like one of the coolest, like long-term goal-setting sessions I've heard in a long time.
Thank you. It's dope to have you a part of it. Though. Like we appreciate you helping us out with that too. For sure.
You got it.
For sure.
Okay. Ruben asks, how do we inspire our next generation of Black, Latinx magicians, storytellers, and artists? Ooh, that's a for everyone question. Yeah. How do we inspire? How do you inspire?
Keep creating.
Yeah.
Keep creating.
Yep.
I feel like what you're doing too, I feel like it's empowering because you pivoted from, you said yoga to magic. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's a strong step and a big step because it's a big challenge for yourself to, because I don't know many magician names, let alone magician, you know what I'm saying? So like the fact that you challenge yourself to say, you know what, I'm gonna do magic, and you're doing it at that scale, I feel like that's freedom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It gives people permission to think, well, maybe I can try that, or
I can try
learning Spanish. Yeah, or I can maybe I can rap in Spanish. Maybe not me, but like somebody can rap.
You can do it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure D Smoke speaks better Spanish than me.
That's
Yo, he definitely does. He definitely does. When I hear him speak Spanish, I'm like, wow. I'm so ashamed. Yeah. Right. The infinitive verb and all that stuff.
That's like the first thing you learned.
My mom would be ashamed of me right now.
I think one thing too around being storytellers is I know that I've always, earlier in my career when I started out as an entrepreneur, I thought I had to be perfect, right? And I had to carry this like burden of being the only and things like that. And now doing magic, I'm really just trying to say that like just doing it is enough. So if you're sitting out there and you're thinking about starting something and you're worried about how it's going to be perceived, like just do it for a day, put it out there, even though you might just be in the beginning and you're like really feeling all the feels about it, because not only will it help you grow, it'll help inspire the next person to take that first step too. Because if we keep expecting ourselves to be perfect, I don't think a lot of us would even try.
Especially as adults, right? We're not supposed to all start rapping and be D-Smoke day 2.
Right.
That's not the goal. It's to get up again and do it day 3.
Yeah.
And keep going.
For sure.
So, okay, we got Shardul wants to know, what advice would you have for anyone who wants to start their journey as a creator?
Find your niche.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Know what you really are passionate about. What are you able to get up every morning and say, I'm gonna do this happily and not feel like it's forced?
And know that there's people out there just like you. Because I feel like that when you make content, when you create things, you make it so that some of the reasons you make it is to connect with somebody. And I feel like there's billions of people in the world. There's going to be people out there that are like you and are going to find your content. You're looking for that person. If somebody comments in your video and they don't like it, well, next. You know what I'm saying? Next person. You're going to find that person that connect with your content, and they're going to love it. I feel like we've experienced that. There's a lot of people.
A lot.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just next, bro.
And I feel like it's always remembering, no matter like the amount of work that you have to do, no matter how many shows you might have to watch during the day, it's just always to have fun and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, this is what you love to do.
Right. How about you, Nicole? Find your audience of one, right? Like find that one person that'll sit with you and watch you do a coin trick over and over again and watch you drop the coins and mess up. And that one person will become two and then hopefully a lot more if that's what you want. But allow yourself that one person, and that could be a stranger on the internet. So you don't have to like launch something and get 10,000 likes and you know all of that and be trending on TikTok or whatever. Just find your one person.
Yeah, I think consistency, like with us, we started YouTube in 2011 and it didn't pick up till 2017. So that was like, you could say 6 years of just trying it out and trying not giving up. So I think the number one thing is you got to just go in with consistency. Like, yo, I got to just be able to do this every day or be able to put in work into every day. And it could take a year, it could take 5 years, it could take 10 years, but it's going to be worth that then.
So we have one more magic question. What are common misconceptions people have about just magic and magicians?
Well, there's definitely a perception that you have to be a white man to do magic, right? And that shocking. But really, you know, if you go and Google magic kits, if you're sitting at home and look at the pictures, almost every magic kit has a picture of a young white boy. Usually blonde with a bowl cut, to be particular. You know, and most women that you see in magic historically have been the magician's assistant and never the magician. And so that's one, and I think that certainly representation can change. But also, what are we using magic for? You know, it can be a platform where you can create shock and awe and wonder, but you can have a really powerful conversation and narrative using magic too. It doesn't just have to be pulling a rabbit out of a hat, although that's also really great. It's a very captive art form that has opportunity to tell a story and bring people together in a way that maybe some other art forms don't have the same capacity. So.
I think we have something.
Well, we have got one more question, I think, that we can get through. I think we have about 5 more minutes for questions. And by the way, if any of y'all have questions for each other, we would love to hear them on the floor. But there is one. Oh yeah, go.
But it might be later.
Okay. Well, there's one interesting one left on the floor. Good night, Mr. Moosey, who's been with us for most of the stream, wants to know how you deal with jealousy or envy during the creative journey. And then there's a second question from another person on the line that said, how do you cope with creative burnout? So one of those two. Jealousy and envy, tell us.
Jealousy and envy, I don't know if there's jealousy and envy among us.
Just like any people around you that are seeing you come up.
I just feel like we don't deal with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like when we first started, I remember like when we first was making videos, there's like 30 comments. I'm gonna read all 30 of them damn things. And I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna read that one that's like, yo, I hate that kid in the middle, I can't stand his ass. And I'll be like, yo, who is this, bro? And then like, but you continue and you're consistent in it, and by the end you like, all right, there's gonna be 2 of those, but like there's gonna be 100 that love you. So you gotta look for the ones that love you versus like looking for the jealous and envy out of everything. So.
But even like, it's like the people that don't like you, sometimes it's really entertaining because some of the things that they say are genuinely funny. And you're like, wow, I really do that. Oh my gosh. I'm really like that. Wow. I can't even be mad at what they say. So I mean, like, I think we handle it very well. But like well said, there's no jealousy and envy amongst us. So.
I think definitely like being a YouTube creator, I think like I was even thinking about this today. I think the number one thing, like I feel like my first year, 2 years of doing YouTube, I would look at other YouTube channels. I'd be like, yo, damn, their channel's moving like this, their channel's moving like that. And it takes time for you to get out of that jealousy. But like even today, I was like, yo, I'm happy I don't think like that no more because I'm grateful for my audience and the way way our audience is growing. It's our way, so I can't look at somebody else's journey because their journey is their way. So I think that's the biggest destruction is having jealousy because it'll make you ungrateful and not see your blessings, what you have in front of you. So you got to focus on your craft. And I just was literally thinking about it today. I'm like, I'm so happy. I'm not just at these channels. I'm like, I can't be here and be like, yo, we got to be like, well, this is the way our channel's grown, and we have to accept it and just go that way. And everyone has their own path, so
Yeah. If you feel that jealousy shit, you better work. Like, shit, real talk. Yeah, you want to get to that 5 million subscribers, you want to get that car, do it your own way, but like work hard and see what they didn't work hard to get to it.
I'm not gonna hold you back. I thought you was gonna say if you feel that jealousy, let it out.
I thought she was finna say that too.
I should have known.
Okay, we do have time for. Did you have a question for the group, or did anyone have a question for here, from here for here?
Well, I want to hear like how y'all handle burnout. Actually, that was a good question too.
Especially as content, like
Yeah.
y'all are content creators.
Right.
And we talked about that.
Yeah, I feel like making the roadmap. You know, like that. I
Yes.
feel like that having just that end goal in your mind, like, because I feel like we still kind of experience burnout to a great degree, where like sometimes we fall asleep. But
Moon Knight.
yeah. Like we literally just had to change when to react to a certain show because it came out at midnight. It was like we can't do the midnight thing because I'm getting a little tired. Yeah. I mean, we can't hold it and I'll get tired during a reaction. Let's do it in the morning. So I feel like it's still something that I struggle with, but I gotta remember why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My why has to be a big why. You know what I'm saying? I have to remind myself, all right,
Yeah.
I do this for my mom. I do it for my brothers that moved across country to be here. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta just constantly remind myself why I do it.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, you have to find something that makes you happy and like go to it. Like I like working out, so I work out to balance. Like I work out to get away from all the work I'm doing, and then also like every day I make sure I like an hour, 2 hours. I always play 2K and listen to sports commentary and listen to like all different type of commentary. So it's like the stuff that make you happy. You got to make sure in your day you find the time to get it, so you won't feel burned out. Because it's like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and then boom, I'm gonna have my relaxation time when I get to listen to Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless talk crazy or whatever, or playing video games or just working out, getting my mind. Or playing basketball, like, so I think you gotta just find what makes you happy that's not part of your business, that's not part of what you're creating, and make sure you always go out your way to find the time to do that.
And to Robbie, to both Robbie's and Joel's point, it's not even just working out on what's making you happy. It's also having, for certain people, for me especially, like having the right diet and having a certain amount of sleep.
Yes.
Because I'll keep it about. I was vegan for like from 2017 till this year, and I'm pescatarian now, and I notice a huge difference because I used to be in reactions like every single almost every single other reaction.
It became a running joke on RTTV.
It became a budding joke. And it was just like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me, because I'm going to run 6 miles and then I'm going to come back and then I'm going to eat air and then I'm going to go and then I'm going to react and I'm going to think that I have all the energy in the world when I don't. And it'll be like a spurt. It'll be kind of like when you drink an energy drink and you crash. Like, it'll be like, ah!
Jerry had a party pack of vitamins and then one of them keep him up.
So it sounds like self-care matters.
Yes,
right?
self-care matters.
Right? I know you're big on self-care as well. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
What do you do for self-care, man?
Oh man, I have a dog named Kobe Bryant Puppy.
Shout out Kobe
And
Bryant.
he's a golden doodle, and he gets walked 3 times a day.
Word.
So I mean, of course, when I'm working from home, that's me. Otherwise, it's someone else. But I just like to be outdoors. I write from outdoors. I like to be in motion when I'm writing, if I can. And I'm with you. I'm working out. I'm boxing. And so yeah, self-care. But I for sure eat. I'm pretty pescatarian, and I juice. You feel me? The celery, the ginger, the green apple, pear. You feel me? So that's my little self-care routine.
I feel that. Hey, I see you know a little bit about your anime. So what's your favorite anime? I gotta ask.
I'm Dragon Ball Z. See, I could talk about Dragon Ball Z a lot, and people gonna think I'm all things anime. You know what I'm saying? But I'm more Dragon Ball Z. And I've dabbled in Naruto, but I'm not all the way hip. For lack of a better word. But
I just started Naruto too, man.
Yeah, he's the rookie's on the journey right now.
I'm on the journey right now.
Make fun of him.
So, for D-Small, how do you feel like, what was the challenges of being an artist during the pandemic? Like, I feel like for a lot of artists, that was like something that none of them ever expected to show cancellation. How did you have to adapt to that?
Bro, you're gonna make me cry. Bro, I stopped counting how many shows got canceled because it added up to a literal amount of money that we missed out on. And my man Shanks is back there. It was for sure because the pandemic hit right after I blew
because right
up.
when the show,
and it was like, the world wants to see you, and I'm like, let's go. They gonna see me, and they like, stay home for a year and a half. I'm like, what do you mean, bro? And so even just getting back out, what people don't know is the playing field has changed kind of permanently. Mm-hmm. You know, you get out and it's like, some people are like, I ain't never going back outside, right? And then others are like, you know, should I, you know? So we're performing for smaller crowds than we know we could, you know, if times had not shifted in that way. So it was literally millions of dollars that were on the table, like on the schedule, and they all got canceled one by one. And so that was just a reality. But, you know, I believe all things happen for a reason. What the reason that was, I don't know yet.
Figure it out.
But we are getting outdoors, and certain places the fans are letting you know, like, hey, we here for you, you know. And even if it's like, the fans are like, if you got to come here several times a year, you know, at this location, we rocking with you, because there are people out there who feel, like you said, or one of y'all said earlier, who feel just like you feel. You know what I'm saying? And you got to find them and rock with them, you know,
So that's the lesson.
Yeah. That's the lesson.
You that core fan base right there, yeah.
You find it.
Incubating that greatness.
So what was the feeling? What was the feeling when you?
Y'all interviews now.
Oh shit!
We switch podcasts.
That's the podcast.
That's the podcast.
Like, I am so sorry.
Real quick, one more question, and then we got a little gift for y'all.
Oh, okay. I can answer.
All right. He's like, the question is, what's the gift?
What is a gift? That's what I really wanted to ask. But I just wanted to ask a question, D-Smoke. So, like, when you, after all those shows got canceled and you finally got to perform, what was that feeling like for you?
Man, it was an emotional moment, or a collection of moments on tour, but there was one special one where, because I have two projects that I was performing, you know, three: Inglewood High, Black Habits, and War on Wonders. And War on Wonders was the most recent one, but you know, Black Habits was the one that really put us on the map outside of rhythm and flow. It was like, oh, he can make music off of a show, you know what I'm saying? But it was in Atlanta when, at the end of this song called Sun-Kissed Child, which is like celebrating blackness, like, at the end of it, the beat drops out and I sing it one time, and as I'm singing it, I realized the crowd is singing it too. So I stop, and they sing the whole hook to me, and I was like, man, I'm a thug, y'all ain't gonna have me up here. I'm a gangster. I'm a gangster, you know. And so, but it was just a special moment because it was like, all right, like as a kid, before you really settle into like, oh, you gotta make money to do X, Y, and Z, you just wanna do stuff. I just wanted to play piano. I remember the feeling. It wasn't associated with money. It was, what do I want to do? You know what I'm saying? And when you realize you're doing it, and then you realize, and we making money, you're like, yeah, all right. So that's, going back, that was another I kind of made it moments, like, damn, all right. And it's, the you made it moments isn't a like, yeah, I'm dope. That's not that moment. It's more like a humbling, like, wow, you know, I'm in a place that I actually dreamed of being. And there's something crazy about that shit. Because you standing in it and you could almost step outside of yourself and be like, whoa.
I dreamt this.
I dreamt this, literally. Literally. And it's dope, man. It's dope. And that's why I'm so big on encouraging people. Like, and my students, when I see my former students, they look at me like, bro, you told us what was going to happen. I played fighter in the classroom. It's other teachers that, you know, make assignments around those kind of things now. But I was making assignments around it because we didn't know it until after the project came out, but we were dealing with real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like through the art. And so you can use that in the classroom. That's what the classroom actually needs to be a better place. Bring the art in, you know? And so they knew what my goal was, and then they see it on TV and they see me like Ferris, bro. I've had students like start tearing up like, bro, you told us, bro. I used to give them assignments and be like, when this song go off, you know, I'm gonna come around and check up on your warm up. You know what I'm saying? This the para empezar, the first thing in the classroom. And when the song go off, I'm gonna check up. I'll press play. They wouldn't even know it's mine, and they'd be like, that sound like Ferris. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
And then somebody be like, is that you? I'd be like, yeah, that's me. They was like, why are you a teacher? But that was just the journey.
Do both.
You know?
Right. That's amazing. All right, we
All right, so we almost gotta go. We did a thing. So Sovereign. So I run a consultancy called Sovereign. We grow creators and design freedom. And so we partnered with another creator of color that I work with to put something together for everyone today. Everyone on the show today. So we got a little.
The drip is real.
So we did a little custom shoe run.
Wait, that's what all these?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
In the cut.
Look at that. That go with my outfit right now.
Big shout out to the Hey Man. They put it together. They're like custom leatherwares. They do all kind of merch, supply, whatever.
I'm gonna need a
You want a custom shoe? You want a custom bag? Big shout out to them. They held us down for today. So y'all will get these at the
Shout out to them. Shout out to them.
That's what's up.
All right, and on that note,
Right?
hang on. What we got?
What we got? Pull Up community. I hope y'all have enjoyed this. It's been amazing. Y'all are dope. Like, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
People in the chat, you can join Pull Up at pullup.patreon.com. I want to say a major special thank you to everyone in this room. There are a slew of people that you cannot see that have helped to put this together, to help to put Pull Up together, my Patreon teammates, the Creator Success team. Special thanks to Brian, Lauren, Robin, Lucy, Sarah Rose, Chad, Haley, Nicole, Kate, and so many more people. Like, the pull-up has been real. It takes a team to take an idea, a seedling idea, and to grow it into what it is today. I am beyond grateful for where we've gotten and all the goals that we have for this program. And this is just the beginning, right, my friends?
Facts.
Facts.
Yeah, man.
Facts. And to send us off in style, we're gonna have D Smoke hit us with another record. D, are you ready to hit us with another
Let's
record?
go.
Okay, we're gonna hear a little Last Supper.
For sure.
All right. Let's do it.
Awesome. This one's for love, for mothers that's grieving. This for that dreamer in that class that's underachieving. This for believers whose faith is all that's keeping them breathing. This the Garden of Eden. This for all of my heathens. This one's for Inglewood, both in Chicago and Cali. This one's for Manchester and Crenshaw, for rallies. Happy moments happen to be sprinkled throughout half of these tragedies. Actually, I just start embracing change. It's safe to say that growth is an uncomfortable process, and pain is a necessary investment for progress. I stress that if ever you get ill or hurt against your will, it's just a quiz from God. This is our test. Yes. This time it's gonna be different. I'ma bless the world with honest quotes in every sentence and get better every moment, just like Beverly mentioned. Hard times, but never resentment. I stay forever relentless. Let's go. Need it in this monitor right here. Yeah. Keep it 100, I be feeling like who? Who? Nobody. Hey, these need to finally understand when I land, I'm the man. Fuck you thought this was, nigga, from Japan to the land. They know what's up, nigga. I'm praying they overstand me. Yeah. Listen, every kid need a hero. I'm trying to be Uncle Stanley. R.I.P. All I see is concrete. Burnt rubber glass scattered on the concrete. I heard love of lives matter, so when hearts leak. Blood dripping live patterns, so my ink writing red when it splatter. Don't flatter me, nigga. Save the compliments. Already know that my flow is bomb as shit. We could toast to our old accomplishments, but I'd rather coast, move forward and talk my shit. They told me eat smoke, take your time, it's a long dinner. Eat smoke, take your time, it's a long dinner. Eat smoke, take your time, it's a long dinner. It's one king and a few brothers. The Last Supper. The Last Supper. Keep it 100, I be feeling like Campbell soup over white rice. Baked chicken with the skin on. Lorries with black pepper, I'm fully seasoned with half the effort as my nigga Mash. I've been on, I'm a pit with a bunch of labs in the kino. Papa Sticks used to pull it back till he went on. Drop a fifth and reach in the bag. A nigga pull out the stash to relax. Pass the blunt like communion. Hey, I know we friends, but nigga Jesus was homies with Judas. Don't be that nigga looking at your homeboy like how could you do this? Smile in your face, but as soon as you walk away, wishing you ruined. Listen, and now you looking foolish. They should have told you, eat smoke, take your time, it's a long dinner. Eat smoke, take your time, it's a long dinner. Hey, eat smoke, take your time, it's a long dinner. Eat smoke, take your time, it's a long dinner. Say, eat smoke, take your time, it's a long dinner. Big shout out to Patreon for having your boy D Smoke on the pull-up. Shout out to Haywan, Nicole, and all the people that came through. Much love. Inglewood City.
Thank you to everybody. D-Smoke killed it. Thank you to everybody that's watched this event. Again, this was Pull Up Late Night. This is our celebration of the launch of our Pull Up program, empowering creators of color. Again, if you want to join the community, you can go to pullup.patreon.com. Shout out to everybody who came through tonight to help us celebrate. Erica, Nicole, D-Smoke, Nicole, Reyes, RTTV. We really appreciate you. Again, my name is Haywan. This has been Pull Up Late Night, and we'll see you next time. Yeah. Can we get the record, though? There we go. Wait for the pull-up. Let's do it. Pull up.